So today I want to talk about how I became a rasta, how I found the Rastafarian faith. I remember when I was in high school and we were doing something in art class about. So I took this picture of Bob Marley and I painted him. But what always attracted me was the speech from the song War, the lyrics from the song War, which was actually a speech by His Imperial Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie, a speech that he gave before the United Nations in 1966, if I'm not mistaken, 63 or 66, I'm not exactly sure. But point being, Haile Selassie gave the speech before the UN and Bob Marley made a song of it. The lyrics were in this album, and I used to read these lyrics and thought that they were the wisest things I ever read, even though I could never pronounce his name at the bottom. I could never even pronounce Haile Selassie, At some point, I was living in Richmond, Virginia. I would get my ganja. I would buy ganja from the trombone player, and so I would, meet him, at a rapport. One day he says to me, he goes, "Aldo, what do you believe in?" And I was like, I believe in nature and spirits, things like that. It was a typical hippie response. And he said, "Aldo, you're a Rasta, but you just don't know it yet. If you're trying to tell me that this guy on your shirt or your badge is God, and it's a photograph, which means he was alive during the age of photography, and he's wearing a military uniform, no way. There's no way you're going to get me to believe that that's God. Not with my impression of what God was." I said, "I'm not going to try to sell it to you. You'll find out." I said, "I will find out." And because I was a security guard at the college, I started going to the library at the college. And I started looking in books about Haile Selassie. And I was surprised to realize that I've never learned about Haile Selassie before. He was at the forefront of World War II. Like, the Ark of the Covenant is in Ethiopia. Hey, and it's their history. It's been their history for thousands of years. Haile Selassie supposedly comes from the direct lineage of King Solomon and the Queen of Sheba meeting from the Bible. The book, Kings 10. If you read Kings 10 in any Bible, King James, whatever, talk about the Queen of Sheba coming and hanging with Solomon. What they didn't mention was that Solomon knocked her up, Empress Makeda. She got pregnant. And her son, firstborn king of Ethiopia, Emperor Menelik I, took the Ark of the Covenant and came back to Ethiopia with it. And there it's been for these couple thousand years. Amazing, mind blown. Now I'm like, my whole, what God actually meant, what God is, changed. It wasn't the old man with a white beard in the sky that nobody could see. He was a king on earth, King ought to be, and he's modern. He's born in the end of the 19th century, and but he's ruled in the 20th century, and it was talking about modern things. So of course he was the leader of an army, and of course he had a military uniform. Of course he was coronated with traditional robes and by the Ethiopian Coptic Church, and they gave him the name and title of Haile Selassie, which was his baptismal name. And he was also crowned the King of Kings, Lord of Lords, conquering lion of the tribe of Judah, elect of God. And that's some heavy shit when you're a Christian, you know what I mean? Because that means that you're God. But I know Haile Selassie supposedly lineage can be traced all the way to the first emperor of Ethiopia, traced to King Solomon and the Queen of Sheba, and there's all these other different lines in the Bible that allude to Haile Selassie and Ethiopia. And it's some heavy shit, right? So I'm like, wow, it was mind-blowing. And I did a lot of meditation on this. Babylon, the forces of Babylon, is trying to sell you on that, you need to work for them in order for your life to be, pushed on in a proper direction. Well, that to me was out the window, which was already out the window. I just didn't have a word for it back then. I used to call it the system, but now I call it Babylon system. And I don't want to be part of it, right? But, you're entangled in it. Just the same as you're entangled in material nature as a spirit soul, you're also entangled in the system, depending on where you come from and, how you live. So, I decided to shun all that. And the best I can as a 19-year-old, 20-year-old, maybe, I was 20. When you first learn this, you're just like, wow, it's heavy. And, it blows your mind. So now you're going to do everything opposite of how you were doing it before. Things that I could, learn a little bit, Jamaican stuff, that would talk about Rastafarianism, because as far as I know, it's basically this cult started in Jamaica and spread around the world. I found a book by Leonard Howe called The Rastafarians, and that did a lot to explain it to me, even though I didn't even know who Leonard Howe was at that time, and I come to learn later that he was the one who was at the forefront of the Rasta movement in the 1930s when Selassie was crowned. Now I'm a Rasta. Now I'm running around Richmond, Virginia in these cut-off shorts and rope sandals, smoking ganja, just really preaching Rasta everywhere I went. The newly converted are always the strongest to preach. So I was out there, Rasta, playing my drum every day. I'm chanting psalms every day. I'm actually seeing results from this. A lot of positive livity. Quit eating meat. I was vegetarian. It's just very ITAL. I was living very ITAL, and it was working for me. So much so that I decided now it's time to go to Jamaica. And so I quit my job, broke up with my girlfriend, moved out of my apartment with her, sold my motorcycle, and off I go. I was living in Richmond, Virginia, but the plane that went to Jamaica was leaving from Baltimore, Maryland. So I had to take a bus. I didn't have a lot of money, and I got real excited about going to Jamaica, and I really wanted to stay, right? So when I bought my ticket, I bought a one-way plane ticket to Jamaica. I wanted to leave all traces of Babylon behind, right? But I knew I would need some form of ID to get on the plane, so I saved my driver's license and social security card, but I cut up everything else that I had, which I had a voter registration card, and so I cut that up. I had credit cards, which were maxed out. I couldn't use them, but I cut them up anyway. Fucking, I'm not bringing this shit to my new beginning. I packed up everything I can in my duffel bag. I had all my clothes that I was bringing. I had some cassette tapes, I think, music that I was bringing that I listened to. I had my blankets. I had these Indian blankets, these woven Indian blankets, which are heavy, mind you. They were in my duffel bag. I had a hammock in case I couldn't find a bed. At least I would have a hammock. Brought that. I get on this bus and I go to Baltimore, Maryland. So I also get from the bus station to the airport. By the time I got to the airport, I had $100.36 in my pocket. I know, right? I go to the counter, the Air Jamaica counter. It says here you only got a one-way ticket. And I'm like, yeah, I only got a one-way ticket. She's like, well, how are you getting back? And I'm like, well, I'm supposed to meet some friends of mine in Jamaica and we're going to take a boat back. She's like, I don't know. She's like, I can't send you to Jamaica with a one-way ticket. It's not, you're going to have to buy a return ticket. And I'm like, fuck, how much is a return ticket? She's like, $100. Fuck, man. I'm like, fuck it. Let's do it, With tax, that comes to $112. All I had on my pocket was $112.36. I'm like, here's the money. This other lady's like, you're gonna send me to Jamaica with no money? And the lady's like, let sleeping dogs lie, man. And then she's like, let me see your passport. I'm like, I don't have a passport. She's like, well, what do you have to prove your citizenship? I give her my driver's license and social security card. No, man. That's not proof of citizenship. I have those, and I'm not even a citizen here. And I'm like, well, this is all I have. She's like, well, do you have a voter registration card or anything? Like, oh, I had one, but I cut it up, right? Okay, well, I'm gonna give you this paperwork, and you sign it, and it swears that you're an American citizen, and you can go to Jamaica. This is when things were a little bit easier traveling, before George Bush pissed off the Canadians and Mexicans, and now you need a passport to go everywhere. Now, this is the first time I ever flew international. Second time I ever flew. And, the drinks were free. So I'm drinking beers, everything's like having fun. It's a party atmosphere because everybody's going to Jamaica. Plane's only flying for 2 hours. We landed in Jamaica. We get off the plane and they give you a free complimentary cup of rum punch. It's got ice in it, rum, fruit punch, and drinking it, having a good time. So now we're going to customs. And I've never been through customs before. I didn't know what to expect. So I'm just gonna try to bullshit my way through this, because I didn't know where I was staying. I had nothing prearranged. It was me just getting off the plane and trying to figure out what I was doing. I'm going through customs, and the guy's asking me questions. How long are you staying in Jamaica? A couple weeks. Where are you staying? Montego Bay. Yeah, I know Montego Bay, but where in Montego Bay? And I'm like, oh, geez, I don't really know. I'm staying with some friends of mine. They're downstairs waiting for me right now, So I don't really know, exactly. I know it's in Montego Bay, and then we're going to take a boat back to the U.S. He's like, okay, how much money do you have? And now I never left the country before. I thought they were going to exchange the money right there, And so I got nervous, and I'm like, 36 cents. And the guy's like, what? And I'm like, yeah, I got 36 cents in my pocket. Do you have any credit cards? He's like, no. I'm like, no, I don't have any credit cards. So I'm like, but look, here's the thing. I ain't got any money on me. I got this change. But I'm going to go to Western Union. And, it's probably in the airport. So as soon as I leave here, I go to Western Union, collect my money. I got a couple $100 in Western Union. And then I'm going to, carry on my vacation. Guy's like, there ain't no Western Union in the airport. I can't let you come in this country with no money. Boom, stamps my paperwork. Oh yeah, because he also asked me for my passport, which I gave him this fucking 3 sheets of paper. He's like, I can't, he stamps that thing reject. It literally said reject in big red stamp. And he's like, go wait over there in that room. I'm like, what? No, this is just a big misunderstanding, man. We got to get this all sorted out. So I go to wait in that room, and I open up the door, and there's a guy, a customs officer, sitting at the desk, listening to a lady in customs uniform sitting on the desk, like leaned in like they were talking, And I walked in, just burst in, and they both look at me. And they both cut their eyes, and they was like, don't they teach you to knock where you come from? Uh-oh. Before the ice even melted in my rum punch, I'm back on the same plane I just got off of. And the very last seat on the plane, and now they're filling the plane up with everybody that just had their fucking vacations, man. And I was like the most confused, like, what? What? No. This can't be happening. No. Before you know it, they're all tan, all their hair is braided, they got all their little wooden, gifts like statues and canes and shit, and they're trying to put everything's going in the overhead luggage, and I'm just like, no, this can't be real. I gotta get off this plane. And I'm thinking, how the fuck do you get off? And I'm thinking, oh my God, how do you get out of a plane? And then I just started school, and I was thinking when I was in school and I wanted to get out of class, I would pretend you're sick. Oh, my stomach hurts. Oh, I don't feel good. I want to get off the plane, So I start thinking, I gotta make this look good. So I start hyperventilating. Working myself up into a real frenzy. Like, I gotta get off this plane. So I prayed, I'm praying, God, please, you gotta get me off this plane. I did everything. Now I called a stewardess over. Stewardess. She comes walking over. And she knew the deal. That's why I was in the last seat. They were like, this guy's gotta go back. Well, what can I do for you? Yo, man, I don't feel good. I feel sick. I gotta get off this plane, man. You gotta help me. She's like, look, man, if you feel sick, here, take one of these pills, and it'll calm your stomach down. Bumbleclad. I don't take pills. I'm a rasta. This did not impress her. She's like, well, if you're going to throw up, use that bag in front of you, and walked off. Uh-oh. Now this is going to be difficult. So I closed my eyes and I prayed. And I prayed, boy, I prayed the strongest. If you thought me living in Virginia and praying for ganja or praying for all the little miracles that I had happen to me. They were legit miracles that happened to me in Virginia. Like, shit would just happen mystically, where I knew that this was the right path to be on. Like, I was confirmed so many times. Mystic, Rasta, follow. So that I went to Jamaica, and everything aligned right for me to do this. I didn't even know why I was going. I just wanted to find a Rasta Bible. I knew that was originally why I wanted to go to Jamaica. I didn't know if there was even such a thing as a Rasta Bible, but I knew the Rastas didn't really want to read the King James version of the Bible. So I just was going to try to work it out, see what the Rastas read, and that's what I wanted to read when I got there. But here I am getting kicked off the island. And let me tell you, my buzz was gone. All that, whatever drink that I was drinking, now I'm on the plane, hyperventilating. I'm sober. I'm praying now. God, there's got to be a reason why you sent me here. I sold my motorcycle. I broke up with my girlfriend. I quit my job. I'm like, please, please help me. You know, John, he makes miracles, but it wasn't like he was going to stop the plane. I had to stop the plane. Now the doors are closed, the ladder's gone, the fucking engines are gearing up, zzz, you know, and I'm like, yo, what the fuck? Like a bolt from the blue, it hit me, and I stood up, and stewardess. She comes walking over to me now, like, now what? And I'm like, look, man, I don't want to alarm anybody on this plane, but I got this fear that this plane is going to crash. If I don't get off this plane, if I'm on this plane, we're going to crash. So I need to get the fuck off this plane. She's all like, whoa, calm down. I'll go talk to the pilot, you know? So I lean up against the wall and I hit this wall. It's full of buttons and they all light up. And I'm like, hey, stewardess, I'm sorry. I hit this wall full of buttons and they all lit up. I don't know what these buttons are. You know, this was a mistake. Calm down, sir, calm down. We're going to let you off the plane. You know, they literally backed this plane up. They backed this plane up with the fucking tug, push the plane back, bring the ladder back. Now everybody's looking around like, what the fuck is this? What's wrong with this guy? There's hippie in the back, you know? Dude, they opened the door and there's my duffel bag sitting on the ladder and these 2 Jamaican police with machine guns. I'm like, fuck. You know, pick up my bag and I'm walking and these 2 guys are like, yo, man, why did you do that? Why did you call, you know, these people, you made everybody late on the plane. You got people coming to pick them up. Now they got to wait. Everybody's late. You cost the airline thousands of dollars. That plane might have to refuel now, you know? And you're not going to like where you spend the night and we're just going to send you back tomorrow. Now I'm stone cold sober and I'm really like, I'm going to, you know, I got a plan. I got to come up with a plan. I got off the plane. I thanked y'all. But now I got to get out of this fucking customs. So they're going to send me to jail and I'm going home tomorrow, you know? And I'm like, oh my God, okay.
Like and subscribe so we can make more videos at home. And more likes.